What's the meaning of this sign? No waiting on the carriageway. No entry for vehicles. National speed limit applies. Local speed limit applies. What's the national speed limit for cars and motorcycles on a dual carriageway? 30 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. There are no speed limit signs on the road. How is a 30 miles per hour limit generally indicated? By hazard warning lines. By double or single yellow lines. By pedestrian islands. By street lighting. What will the speed limit usually be where you can see street lights but no speed limit signs? 50 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 30 miles per hour. What does this sign mean? End of maximum speed. End of minimum speed. Maximum speed 30 miles per hour. Minimum speed 30 miles per hour. What should you do if you want to overtake a tractor but aren't sure that it's safe? Sound your horn to make the tractor driver pull over. Follow another vehicle as it overtakes the tractor. Speed past, flashing your lights at oncoming traffic. Stay behind it if you're in any doubt. Which vehicle is most likely to take an unusual course at a roundabout? Milk float. Long vehicle. Estate car. Delivery van. When may you stop on a clearway? Never. When it's busy. During daylight hours. In the rush hour. What's the meaning of this sign? Waiting restrictions. National speed limit. No entry. School crossing patrol. You're driving at night and looking for somewhere to park. When may you park on the right-hand side of the road? When you have your side lights on. When you're under a lamppost. When you're more than 10 meters, 32 feet, from a junction. When you're in a one-way street. When should you use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane dual carriageway? When you're overtaking only. When you're using cruise control. When you're overtaking or turning right. When you're turning right only. You're approaching a busy junction. What should you do when, at the last moment, you realize you're in the wrong lane? Stop until the area has cleared. Continue in that lane. Use arm signals to help you change lane. Force your way into the lane you need. Where may you overtake on a one-way street? Only on the left-hand side. Only on the right-hand side. On either the right or the left. Overtaking isn't allowed. What signal should you give when you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Don't signal at any time. Signal right when you're approaching the roundabout. Signal left when you're approaching the roundabout. Signal left before leaving the roundabout. Which vehicle might have to take a different course from normal at a roundabout? Estate car. long vehicle, van, sports car. When may you enter a box junction? When there are fewer than 2 vehicles ahead. When traffic signs direct you. When signaled by another road user. When your exit road is clear. When may you stop and wait in a box junction? When oncoming traffic prevents you from turning right. When you're in a queue of traffic going ahead. When you're in a queue of traffic turning left. When you're on a roundabout. Who is authorized to signal you to stop? A pedestrian, a motorcyclist, a bus driver, a police officer. What should you do if you see a pedestrian waiting at a zebra crossing? Ignore them as they're still on the pavement. Be ready to slow down or stop to let them cross. Go on quickly before they step onto the crossing. Stop before you reach the zigzag lines and let them cross. Which road users benefit from toucan crossings? Car drivers and motorcyclists, bus and lorry drivers, tram and train drivers, cyclists and pedestrians. You're waiting at a pelican crossing. What does it mean when the red light changes to flashing amber? Give way to pedestrians on the crossing. Wait for the green light before moving off. Move off immediately without any hesitation. Get ready and go when the continuous amber light shows. You see these double white lines along the center of the road. When may you park on the left? When there are no yellow lines. If the line nearest to you is broken. To pick up or set down passengers. During daylight hours only. You're turning right at a crossroads. An oncoming driver is also turning right. What's the advantage of turning behind the oncoming vehicle? You'll use less fuel because you can stay in a higher gear. You'll have a clearer view of any approaching traffic. You'll be able to turn without stopping. You'll have more time to turn. You're traveling along a residential street. There are parked vehicles on the left-hand side. Why should you keep your speed down? Children may run out from between the vehicles. There may be delivery lorries on the street. You may set off car alarms, so that oncoming traffic can see you more clearly. What should you do when there's an obstruction on your side of the road? Give way to oncoming traffic. Wave oncoming vehicles through. Accelerate to get past first. Carry on, as you have priority. When would you use the right-hand lane of a 2-lane dual carriageway? When you're turning right or overtaking. When you're driving at a constant high speed. When you're staying at the minimum allowed speed. When you're passing a side road on the left. Who has priority at an unmarked crossroads? No one has priority. The faster vehicle. The smaller vehicle. The larger vehicle. What's the nearest you may park to a junction? 12 meters, 30, 15 meters, 49 feet. 20 meters, 66 feet. 10 meters, 32 feet. You're looking for somewhere to safely park your vehicle. Where would you choose to park? Near the brow of a hill. On the approach to a level crossing. In a designated parking space. At or near a bus stop. You're waiting at a level crossing. What must you do if a train passes but the lights keep flashing? Phone the signal operator. Park and investigate. Edge over the stop line and look for trains. Carry on waiting. What does this sign mean? End of controlled parking zone. No through road. Free parking zone ends. End of traffic calming zone. What must you do if you come across roadworks that have a temporary speed limit displayed? Ignore the displayed limit. Obey the speed limit. Use your own judgment. The limit, obey the limit, but only during rush hour. You're in a built-up area at night and the road is well lit. Why should you use dipped headlights? So that you can be easily seen by others. So that you can see further along the road. So that you can switch to main beam quickly. So that you can go at a much faster speed. You're turning right onto a dual carriageway. What should you do if the central reservation is too narrow to contain your vehicle? Wait until the road is clear in both directions. Emerge slightly to show your intentions. Stop in the first lane so that other vehicles give way. Proceed to the central reservation and wait. What's the national speed limit on a single carriageway road for cars and motorcycles? 60 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. 30 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. What should you do when you park at night on a road that has a 40 miles per hour speed limit? Leave dipped headlights switched on. Park near a street light. Park facing the traffic. Leave parking lights switched on. Where will you see these red and white markers? Approaching the end of a dual carriageway. Approaching a concealed level crossing. Approaching the end of a motorway. Approaching a concealed speed limit sign. You're traveling on a motorway in England. When must you stop your vehicle? When signaled to stop by a pedestrian on the hard shoulder. When signaled to stop by a driver who has broken down. When signaled to stop by a traffic officer. When signaled to stop by a roadwork supervisor. How should you signal if you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Signal left after you leave the roundabout and enter the new road. Signal right on the approach to the roundabout and keep the signal on. Signal right on the approach and then left to leave the roundabout. Signal left just after you pass the exit before the one you're going to take. When may you drive over a pavement? To gain access to a property. To overtake slow-moving traffic. When the pavement is very wide. If there are no pedestrians nearby. A single carriageway road has this sign. What's the maximum permitted speed for a car towing a trailer? 30 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour. What's the speed limit for a car towing a caravan on a dual carriageway? 50 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour. You want to park and you see this sign. What should you do on the days and times shown? Park on yellow lines and not pay. Park on yellow lines and pay. Park in a bay and pay. Park in a bay and not pay. A cycle lane, marked by a solid white line, is in operation. What does this mean for car drivers? They mustn't drive along the lane. They may drive in the lane at any time. They may use the lane when necessary. They may park in the lane. You're going to turn left from a main road into a minor road. What should you do as you approach the junction? Keep in the middle of the road. Keep well to the left of the road. Swing out to the right just before turning. Keep just left of the middle of the road. You're waiting at a level crossing. What should you do if the red warning lights continue to flash after a train has passed by? Drive across carefully. Telephone the signal operator. Get out and investigate. Continue to wait. What should you do if the amber lights come on and a warning sounds while you're driving over a level crossing? Stop immediately and use your hazard warning lights. Stop and reverse back to clear the crossing. Get everyone out of the vehicle immediately. Keep going and clear the crossing. You're driving on a busy main road. What should you do if you find that you're driving in the wrong direction? Make a 3-point turn in the main road. Turn into a side road on the right and reverse into the main road. Make a U-turn in the main road. Turn around in a side road. When may you drive without wearing your seatbelt? When you're driving slowly in queuing traffic. When you're moving off on a hill. When you're carrying out a maneuver that includes reversing. When you're testing your brakes. How far are you allowed to reverse? No further than is necessary. No more than a car's length. The length of a residential street. As far as it takes to reverse around a corner. What should you do when you're unsure whether it's safe to reverse your vehicle? Reverse slowly. Rev your engine. Get out and check. Sound your horn. Why could it be dangerous to reverse from a side road into a main road? Your reverse sensors will beep. Your view will be restricted. Your reversing lights will be hidden. Your mirrors will need adjusting. You want to turn right at a box junction. What should you do if there's oncoming traffic? Drive on, you can't turn right at a box junction. Wait in the box junction if your exit is clear. Drive slowly into the box junction when signaled by oncoming traffic. Wait before the junction until it's clear of all traffic. You're reversing into a side road. When would your vehicle be the greatest hazard to passing traffic? After you've completed the maneuver. After you've entered the side road. When the front of your vehicle swings out. Just before you begin to maneuver. Where's the safest place to park your vehicle at night? In a quiet car park. In a garage. On a busy road. Near a red route. When may you stop on an urban clearway? To ask for directions. To load or unload goods. To set down and pick up passengers. To use a mobile telephone. You're looking for somewhere to park your vehicle. What should you do if the only free spaces are marked for disabled drivers? Wait for a regular parking space to become free. Park in one of these spaces but stay with your vehicle. Use one of the spaces as long as one is kept free. Use one of these spaces. You're on a road that's only wide enough for one vehicle. What should you do if a car is coming towards you? Force the other driver to reverse. Pull into a passing place on your left. Pull into a passing place on your right. Pull into a passing place if your vehicle is wider. You're driving at night with your headlights on main beam. A vehicle is overtaking you. When should you dip your headlights? Sometime after the vehicle has passed you. As soon as the vehicle passes you. Before the vehicle starts to pass you. Only if the other driver dips their headlights. When may you drive a car in this bus lane? To overtake slow-moving traffic. Outside its hours of operation. You may not use it at any time. To get to the front of a traffic queue. Other than direction indicators, how can you give signals to other road users? By using fog lights. By using brake lights. By using interior lights. By using side lights. You're parked in a busy high street. What's the safest way to turn your vehicle around so you can drive in the opposite direction? Turn around in a quiet side road. Carry out a U-turn. Drive into a side road and reverse out into the main road. Ask someone to stop the traffic. Where should you park your vehicle at night? In a well-lit area. In a quiet road. Near a police station. On a red route. You're driving in the right-hand lane of a dual carriageway. What should you do if you see a sign showing that the right-hand lane is closed 800 yards ahead? Keep in that lane until you reach the queue. Wait and see which lane is moving faster. Move to the left immediately. Move to the left in good time. You're driving on a road that has a cycle lane. What does it mean if the lane is marked by a broken white line? Cyclists can travel in both directions in that lane. You shouldn't drive in the lane unless it's unavoidable. There's a reduced speed limit for motor vehicles using the lane. The lane must be used by motorcyclists in heavy traffic. When are you allowed to park in a parking bay for disabled drivers? When you have a blue badge. When you have an adapted vehicle. When you have a wheelchair. When you have an advanced driver certificate. When must you stop your vehicle? If you're involved in an incident that causes damage or injury. At the end of a one-way street. At a junction where there are give-way lines. Before merging onto a motorway.